From Victor. Victor, thank you so much for today's confession. I think this probably has a PG, particularly if you're eating food. Simon and Gang, my confession goes back to 1980 when I was 10 years old. I was forever playing football in the garden, with dreams of playing for my beloved Birmingham City. The Blues were my life. St Andrew's Stadium was my church. My dreams were utterly pointless, of course, because I wasn't very good. And time again, I was knocking on the neighbour's door, this is Bob and Gladys Tufton, asking for my ball back as I hoofed it over the fence again, and was always told, if it comes over again, you're not getting it back.
Okay. In Birmingham.
That's my Birmingham voice.
Okay.
But if it did go over again, they did always throw it back after about 5 minutes. One day, I was playing keepy-uppy. I was quite good. I got to about 4. And then, lo and behold, it went hoofing and flying over to the Tuftons next door. I looked over the fence. I tried to reach it, but it was just out of reach. Just couldn't get it. So I went round, knocked on the door, and asked for my ball back. Gladys Tufton had her coat on as they were on their way out, and she said, "You can have it back when we come back." This was outrageous, of course, and I was sure it was probably against my human rights. I was devastated, but I thought, well, I'll jump over the fence.
Oh, okay.
As soon as they go out to their probably ridiculous wine and cheese evening.
Right.
Back in the day when wine and cheese just meant wine and cheese, and not what it means now.
No.
Anyway, after 5 minutes, I saw them leave, and I went out and went down to the bottom of the garden so my mum couldn't see me. And I jumped over the fence like a gazelle leaping a stream. To my horror, they had taken my ball inside their house and placed it in the window as if to tease me. As if to say, here's your ball, sunshine. I was so upset, but what could I do? And no, Father Simon, I did not break in, as you would not be able to use this confession.
No,
Quite
definitely not.
right, Victor.
No.
Breaking and entering, illegal, therefore we couldn't use it, but he didn't do that.
So,
I then realised, said Victor, that I needed the toilet.
Oh,
and
right.
It's taking a slightly more functional turn here. I didn't think I could make it back to the house, what with the fence and everything. Anyway, I had to go. Now you need to know that the neighbours grew their own veggies. So what I have to tell you is that what I did is I went to the loo in the cabbages and the potatoes.
Right.
Then I felt sufficiently gazelle-like again and I jumped back over. Well, later in the afternoon, the ball was actually thrown back into my garden, but I was too frightened to go back out, bearing in mind what I had done. You would think I wanted forgiveness for this particular incident, but no, Father Simon. On the Sunday, Mum called me and my brother and my sister down for our Sunday dinner. The only time we used the dining room table was on Sundays. It was all laid out. My mum said to my dad how kind that the next-door neighbours, the Tuftons, had given us some fresh vegetables out of the garden for our Sunday lunch. I had a look. It was cabbages and potatoes. I was open-mouthed in disbelief. Thinking back now, I reckon they knew what I'd done and in a genius stroke of revenge gave us the vegetables. Excellent. So I think I'd probably been caught out for my toilet break. Back at the table then, I had a dilemma. I didn't want to eat the dinner and definitely didn't want the family to eat the dinner. So I grabbed the tablecloth, let out a scream and yanked the tablecloth, sending the Sunday lunch crashing to the floor.
What?
My mum jumped up yelling and in total shock. As quick as a flash, I told her that she was saying, "What are you doing?" I told her my brother had bitten me and I had pulled the cloth by mistake, and I started to cry, pretending that he'd really hurt me. My poor brother got sent to his room, while Mum cleaned up the mess and then had to prepare another lunch, a substitute lunch for us all.
Wow.
Except for my brother, who had to wait in his room until tea time. To this day, when we all get together, my sister will say, "Do you remember when Stuart bit you and the dinner went everywhere?" Yes, we all do. And then Stuart, because he was so young, just says he can't remember what happened and he's very sorry. Well, Father Simon says, Victor, I can't take it anymore. I squirm whenever this story is brought up, as I know the truth. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. And I hope my brother and sister realise why I did it, and also that they forgive me, because I could have let them go ahead and eat the dinner, which, as you know, was compromised, and I just couldn't do that. I await your decision with clasped hands of penitence. Regards from Victor, the Veggie Patch Man. P.S. I've never eaten cabbage since. So, well, we cleaned it up a little, I have to say, but let's just
Really?
check in with Sister Susie from the pub.
Yeah, Victor, do you know what? I'm with the Tuftons, and your poor brother. I did like the accents, but I'm afraid I can't forgive anything that you did during that confession, so...
Brother from another gutter.
I mean, there are several things going on here, and I have to say, like, midway through this confession, I had no idea where this was going.
No.
Goodness me. What a story. I mean, it's all the circle of life, really. I'm not a gardener or a biologist, but I'm just going to say, you know, whatever went on in the vegetable patch, that's sort of what nature does, I think. And I'm sure the potatoes would have been fine, and I never eat cabbage anyway, so
Yes.
I am going to forgive because of the cabbages.